Welcome back to our channel for another deep dive into the dramatic world of Port Charles. Today is a magnificent day to unravel some tantalizing daytime mysteries. We have gathered the latest insights, and we are absolutely thrilled to share these thrilling updates with our dedicated community. Let us jump straight into the heart of the drama. Having watched this beloved program for more decades than I sometimes care to admit, I have developed a keen sense for when a major storm is brewing on our screens. The recent revelations surrounding the impending arrival of a new character have sent a familiar thrill down my spine, reminding me of the golden eras of daytime television that I have cherished since my youth. We are being told that Troy will be making his grand debut on the 30th of July, stepping into the shoes of a mysterious and undoubtedly dangerous man named Hudson. Whenever a newcomer arrives in town with a shadow trailing behind them, my heart leaps with anticipation. Chris and Elizabeth, the brilliant minds guiding our current narratives, have tantalizingly teased that as July draws to a close, this enigmatic stranger will descend upon our beloved city. They have made it abundantly clear that Hudson is relentlessly hunting a specific resident, and absolutely nothing will deter him from his mission. In my extensive experience analyzing these intricate plots, such a fierce determination usually spells disaster for the hunted. Who could possibly be the target of such intense and unwavering pursuit? The most reliable whispers and my own deeply ingrained intuition point directly toward Ethan. Ethan has only recently returned to our screens, and from the moment he reappeared, I could sense the palpable tension radiating from him. He has the look of a man constantly glancing over his shoulder, a man running from a past that refuses to stay buried. The summer promotional materials have strongly hinted that someone from his colorful history has tracked him down, providing the perfect catalyst for his sudden urge to flee. Now, I have always had a soft spot for the charming rogues of daytime television, but I am under no illusions about Ethan. He has never been a traditional hero or a well-behaved gentleman. He is a scoundrel, albeit a lovable one, who has inherited a dark and exceptional talent for deception from his legendary parents. The apple truly does not fall far from the tree, and Ethan has spent his life mastering the art of the con. This leads me to ask a very pressing question. Did Ethan make the colossal mistake of conning Hudson? It is a highly plausible scenario that I have been turning over in my mind. Imagine the audacity required to swindle a man as seemingly ruthless as Hudson. Perhaps Ethan, in one of his international escapades, saw an opportunity to make a quick fortune and left Hudson holding the bag. If this is the case, Hudson's arrival is fueled by a deeply personal vendetta, a thirst for vengeance that only a betrayed man can harbor. I can already envision the intense confrontations, the sharp dialogue, and the sheer panic in Ethan's eyes when he finally comes face to face with the man he thought he had outsmarted. However, we must also consider an alternative, equally thrilling possibility. What if Hudson is not acting on his own behalf? What if he is a highly skilled operative, a lethal instrument wielded by a much more powerful and sinister boss? The criminal underworld is currently in a state of flux, and names like Ross and Jens have been floating around as potential architects of this impending chaos. These men are formidable villains, the kind of antagonists who do not tolerate insubordination or theft. If Ethan crossed either Ross or Jens, it makes perfect sense that they would dispatch their most relentless hound, Hudson, to retrieve whatever was stolen or to exact a heavy price for the transgression. I have watched many villains come and go, but the threat posed by international syndicates always elevates the stakes to a breathtaking level. Ethan might have thought he could outrun a cartel or a mob boss, but Hudson's arrival proves that the past is inescapable. Which theory holds more water? In my considered opinion, a personal betrayal makes for far more compelling television. A direct conflict where Hudson feels personally wronged by Ethan's deceit would provide a rich emotional layer to their inevitable clash, transforming it from a mere hit job into a passionate battle of wits and survival. Regardless of who is signing Hudson's paychecks, we must examine the explosive secret that Ethan is desperately trying to protect right here in town. This is where the narrative takes a turn that genuinely shocked even a seasoned viewer like myself. We know for an absolute certainty that Ethan committed a brazen act of desperation. He infiltrated the police department, accessed the secure evidence room, and tampered with crucial genetic material. He swapped the existing evidence with his own sample. Why would a man who is already on the run risk a lengthy prison sentence for tampering with police evidence? The answer, as it so often is in our beloved dramas, revolves around a child. Ethan orchestrated this elaborate and highly illegal switch to ensure that he would appear as the biological father of little Phoebe during an official paternity test related to her adoption proceedings. This revelation is nothing short of staggering. It forces us to reevaluate everything we thought we knew about Ethan's current motivations. He is not just a grifter looking for his next score. He is a man willing to cross every legal and moral boundary to secure a claim over Phoebe. But why? Is he acting out of a genuine, albeit twisted sense of paternal love, or is Phoebe merely a pawn in a much larger, more lucrative scheme? Knowing Ethan's history, I am inclined to believe there is a financial angle, perhaps a massive trust fund or an inheritance tied to the child. Yet, a small part of me, the part that has watched characters seek redemption for decades, hopes that he genuinely cares for the girl. The tension surrounding this forged paternity test is palpable. Every time Ethan interacts with the authorities or the social workers, I find myself holding my breath, waiting for the other shoe to drop. The sheer audacity of walking into a police precinct to alter a genetic test is a testament to the high-stakes game he is playing. Now, let us factor the impending arrival of Hudson back into this volatile equation. We have learned that Troy has signed a long-term contract to portray this mysterious newcomer. This is a crucial piece of information. It guarantees that Hudson is not just a passing summer storm. He is a permanent fixture who will embed himself deeply into the fabric of our community. His storyline will extend far beyond his initial confrontation with Ethan. This longevity suggests that Hudson's roots, or at least his future, are intricately tied to the broader canvas of the town. How will a man introduced as a relentless hunter transition into a permanent resident? This is where the brilliant minds of Chris and Elizabeth will truly shine. I have been formulating several theories regarding Hudson's true identity and his connection to the ongoing drama. One fascinating possibility is that when Hudson's own genetic material inevitably makes its way into the hospital's database, it will trigger a massive alarm. Could Hudson be connected to a historical crime wave that swept through our streets years ago? A long-lost relative of a notorious crime family? While this would certainly anchor him to the town's rich history, I believe there is an even more explosive twist waiting in the wings, one that ties directly into Ethan's current deception. What if the man hunting Ethan is not just a former mark or a hired gun? What if Hudson is actually the true biological father of Phoebe? Let us pause and truly absorb the magnitude of that potential revelation. Ethan has gone to extraordinary illegal lengths to fake his paternity, risking his freedom to claim a child that is not his. Meanwhile, the real father, a dangerous and unstoppable force named Hudson, is bearing down on him. If Hudson's boss is the father, that is frightening enough. But if Hudson himself is the father, the emotional and physical danger to Ethan increases tenfold. There is nothing more dangerous than a parent fighting for their child, especially a parent who possesses Hudson's clearly lethal skill set. If this theory proves correct, it completely flips the dynamic of the storyline. Ethan transforms from a clever con artist into a desperate man who has stolen a child's true lineage, while the terrifying newcomer, Hudson, suddenly gains a sympathetic, deeply human motivation. I have always appreciated storylines that challenge our perceptions of heroes and villains. If Hudson discovers that Ethan has not only wronged him in the past, but is currently using fraudulent documents to steal his daughter, the vengeance he seeks will be biblical in its proportions. How will Ethan possibly survive the wrath of a father scorned? He will have to use every ounce of his charm, every trick he has ever learned just to stay alive. The brilliance of this potential narrative lies in its layered complexity. It intertwines Ethan's past sins with his current desperate gambit at the police station. It creates a ticking time bomb. On one side, we have the police and the adoption agencies who are bound to discover the tampered evidence eventually. On the other side, we have Hudson, closing in day by day, hour by hour. Ethan is trapped in a vice of his own making, and the pressure is building to a catastrophic breaking point. As a longtime viewer, this is exactly the kind of edge-of-your-seat storytelling that keeps me passionately invested. I want to see Ethan squirm. I want to see how he attempts to talk his way out of an impossible corner. Will Ethan's elaborate deception be exposed before Hudson reaches him? I believe it will be a simultaneous collision of epic proportions. I predict that the truth about the forged genetic test will come to light at the exact moment Hudson corners him, leaving Ethan with absolutely no leverage and nowhere to run. The fallout will be monumental, not just for Ethan and Hudson, but for innocent little Phoebe, whose entire world will be shattered and rebuilt in the span of a few dramatic episodes. The custody battle that would ensue between a disgraced con man and a dangerous newly arrived stranger would be the stuff of daytime legend. As we approach the 30th of July, my excitement is reaching a fever pitch. The introduction of Troy as Hudson is poised to inject a massive dose of adrenaline into the summer viewing schedule. We are about to witness a masterclass in suspense, deception, and the primal instincts of survival and parenthood. I urge all of you to keep your eyes glued to the screen, to analyze every look, every whispered conversation, and every seemingly innocuous clue. The storm is coming to our beloved town, and it wears the face of a man named Hudson. It is times like these that remind me why I have dedicated so many years to following these incredible, intertwined lives. The drama, the passion, and the sheer unpredictability of it all are simply unparalleled. Let us brace ourselves for the impact, for it promises to be a collision that will reshape the landscape of our favorite show for years to come.